Hey, this is Antiquitydreams. I'm doing a kind of an update and an FAQ because it's been a while and it would be good to do that. I'm really making an effort to upload more videos because I've been really bad about it the last year as I've been really busy in the last year. So let's start with the updates. YaoiCon's coming up, which is the weekend of the 12th. So gonna go do that, and that'll be awesome. And if you're going, you should leave a comment on this video, comment, and let me know that you're going, and maybe we can say hi or something. It'll be awesome. Naru and I are also going to the Tiger and Bunny movie premiere up in San Francisco on the 29th of this month, September. So awesome. And speaking of Tiger and Bunny, even more recent, Naru and I both entered a Tiger and Bunny cosplay contest, which is happening on Facebook, and you can vote, and I'll leave the link in the comments. So voting, yay, starts today on the 17th and goes till, I don't know, like a week or so. We're also in the works of planning a web series, a really goofy Tales of web series, and that should be fun because there's not enough Tales of fans. But we'll also be doing several videos at YCon, and Koi is planning on doing a skit at YCon. So you should go to the masquerade, and hopefully we'll get in, and hopefully everything will be wonderful. Also, I think Gara and Naru are doing swap meet at YaoiCon as well. So go, have fun, enjoy, come see us. It'll be awesome. Oh, and if you're going to the Tiger and Bunny premiere, come see us there too. So that's kind of the updates. Yeah, that's pretty much everything that's happening right now. And now for a little bit of FAQ. So the first question says, do you have any recommendations for working with leather or any other difficult fabric? Well, the biggest thing I would say is you should make sure you have the correct size needle with your sewing machine because there's different gauges. So the smaller the number, the smaller the needle generally. So you get like a size 8, 9 needle. You're going to be working with delicate fabrics like sheer, like my veil of shame. Please don't look at my room veil. And if you are working with something like denim or leather or something thicker, use the appropriate size gauge needle, something like a 16 or bigger or something. I'm not quite sure what the actual gauge is, so check it before you use it, but yeah. Usually when you buy needles, it'll say on the pack meant for denim or heavyweights. That's what you're looking for. So that's, I would say, one of the most important things when working with difficult fabrics. Make sure you have the right needles. How'd you get into cosplay? My mom has always been into costuming and Halloween, and it's one of my favorite holidays. I think I've explained this before. And then I joined a Renaissance company when I was 12, and you have to make your outfits, so I learned to sew more from there. So I made my outfits starting there, and then I just kind of went from there, sort of in that costume play fantasy sort of theme. So yeah, and then I met some people who were into cosplay, and they asked me to cosplay with them. Vice Cruise was my first cosplay. Technically, Schuldig from Vice Cruise was my very first cosplay. I had this highlighter neon wig, and it was bad, but there's like no pictures of that in existence because I wore it for like 3 hours at Anime Expo 2003, and then I cosplayed Yoji for the rest of the time, and that was cool. Now that you've gained a fan base and kind of become huge, how do you feel looking back at the start? Would you trade this for simpler times? I wouldn't say I wouldn't even say I've really got a fan base. Like, I've got some really awesome people who follow me and some enthusiasts, but I wouldn't really say I myself have a fan base. So no, I'm happy where I am. I'm fine where I am. Everything's cool. So guess I wouldn't trade it. How did I start out with styling my own wig? How did I start out? I kind of cheated, and let me be fair. My mom was a cosmetologist for a while, so I learned how to cut human hair and whatnot from her, and dealing with her doing my hair and stuff. So I kind of already had a good trainer. So I already knew the basics of hair cutting and things like that, and styling, and so I'm not really a good basis for that. But there are some amazing tutorials online now which will teach you how to start out cutting and styling wigs. I recommend looking them up and doing all that, and that would be fun. Wig fixing break, wig fixing break, woo woo! I look like a punk rocker. Probably the makeup and purple wig. How much do you plan cons? Okay, well, excuse me, my shirt's being immodest. Back on track. How much do you plan cons? Okay, it comes back to a rooming situation. So it starts off with who gets the rooms. And then we plan our cosplays per day. Sometimes it's based on the gatherings, and sometimes it's based on how big the costume is and what day we want to debut it. And how many people are doing it, what groups, blah, blah, blah. Are we going to be needed for the masquerade? Are we not? So as far as planning goes, we plan hotels, and we plan what costumes we're going to wear, and then we plan photo shoots because we usually arrange photo shoots in the afternoon for everyone. So, and then that's about it. That's about as far as we plan it. Yeah, we're cool like that. How do you fight con blues? Keeping yourself busy. That's how you get away from the blues. What is the character that you can't wait to cosplay? And what cosplay have you put the most time into sewing-wise? If I only had one character I could cosplay for the rest of my life, it would be Zelos Wilder. I love cosplaying that character. I want to do more of his outfits. I want to do more videos with him. I just love that character endlessly. I think he's hilarious and awful and wonderful at the same time. So I always look forward to cosplaying him, like, always. Put a lot of effort into Steampunk Riku. May have to wear that costume again because I've only worn it once, but there was a lot of work that went into the hat and into the detailing and all the work that went into that. Probably that was my lengthiest costume. What is your favorite cosplay you've done so far? What cosplay are you looking forward to most right now? There we go again, same thing. Zelos is my favorite character. I enjoy cosplaying him the most. I really like Bunny right now from Tiger and Bunny, so I have a lot of fun with that character and doing various outfits for him, like Swimsuit Barnaby was fun. Beyond that, what am I looking most forward to right now? Our secret cosplay for YaoiCon. It's an old school anime that we've been wanting to do for a really long time, and I'm really excited to do it. So you'll see it in like a little bit, and I'm sure we'll throw up previews of what we're doing, but it'll be fun. So I'm most looking forward to my YaoiCon lineup. How did you learn to create the costumes that you do? Did someone teach you? Did you teach yourself? How did you get to where you are? When I was really little, I used to have these little sand lizards, you know, the little lizards that are just made of sand. They're toys, doll things. And I must have been around 10, and I loved playing with them, like, all the time. They were my favorite things, and I used to collect a bunch of them because they're really cheap. You used to get them at, like, a Renaissance fair for, like, $2, $5, depending on the size. So I would get them, and then I would play with them all the time. And when I would play with them, I'd get really bored with how they just looked all the time, so I started making outfits for them. So I made all these random dresses and outfits for these little sand lizard doll things. That was cool. And then I took a sewing class in middle school that basically taught me how to use a sewing machine. And then I joined a theatrical company and had to figure out how to make my own outfits. And then I just started sewing. I mostly self-taught myself. I am mostly self-taught. Do you ever get tired of people who want to meet you or take pictures with you? Oh God, no. No, I never get tired of that. I like meeting new people. I think people are really interesting. And if people want to talk to me or take pictures with me, awesome. I love that. I never get bored of that. I always encourage people to come say hi and hang out and do things like that. I'm kind of quiet because I'm a little bit introverted. Sometimes I'm really out there. Sometimes I'm really enthusiastic. Depends on how many energy shots I had in a day. But typically I love it when people talk to me, send me letters or questions or anything like that, especially on my Tumblr because Tumblr is so much fun. But yeah, no, I never get tired of it. I think it's awesome. And the last one is, how do you approach negative remarks or comments towards your relationship or lifestyle? I take everything with a grain of salt. Who cares? After a while, I kind of realized that their opinion doesn't really matter and that I shouldn't really care because they don't have any importance in my life. So, whatever. I'm just gonna go about living my life the way I want to live it. I know that I'm not doing anything wrong and that there's nothing wrong with me, so if they have an issue, that's all on them. Water off a duck's back. That's the saying, right? Okay. And that's it. That is all for my FAQ slash update, and I will be doing more of these later, and I'll tell you more about my Naru and I's web series. Tell you more about our web series when it happens. If you've got questions, be sure to leave them in the comments. I'll do my best to answer them. Blah, 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 blah. So that's it. That's me out. Bye.